Neiman Hao, Pengyaman. Welcome to Jet Li's Rise to Honor, a game I played many years ago, but, you know, it's fun enough to play through at least one more time. So, please join me for this interesting game. It's got a rather unique control style that I think everyone may be able to enjoy. An early look at the action genre of video games.
能夠同蔣生合作係我哋嘅榮幸。
仲有好高興可以同你嘅頭馬傑哥見面。
我哋仲記得佢老豆啲威水事，
希望佢在天之靈可以安息啦。
Movement, at the least, is extremely simple. You've got your left analog stick to move around, and you've got the R1 button to interact with things. Interaction is pretty much completely contextual. You won't always be able to do it, but it works well enough. I mean, sometimes it has issues, since the block button is also the interact button. Oh, that guy can't drive. Just another normal day in Hong Kong. Well, isn't that jerk acrobatic? Well, anything he can do, we can do better. Oh no. Every protagonist's nemesis. A locked door. Well, I guess we'll up. So the way you attack in this game is by pointing the right analog stick towards your enemy. By pressing it in rhythm, you can usually do a combo, which, you know, sometimes it works, sometimes it's kind of crap. Blocking is controlled on the blue bar, and assuming you press the button in time, you won't get hit. Though every time you do a dodge, it will deplete a little bit. It usually restores pretty fast, but it can build up. And if you're not careful, enemies also will, they'll also dodge you. We'll get more into that later. Screw you, I hate carpenters! At this point, enemies will sometimes dodge the first 1 or 2 punches, but they will rarely dodge 3, 4, 5. And most of your combo attacks do go up to 5 punches, so it's in your interest to get that down pat. Well, no, that's just rude. I guess the guy didn't wash the windows very well, I don't know. One important thing about the attacks being multi-directional is that at any time, you can start attacking in a different direction. One of the problems of the approach is that it's not very mobile, but we'll get into more of that later as well. Of course, as with any good beat-em-up, you can grab people. At this point, these are kind of they're not the normal grabs you'll run into. Sometimes you'll get contextual grabs, but in this case, I mean, why not? I mean, they probably landed softly.
接住！喂，唔好停啊！接住！
A lot of times, enemies you'll see will have really obvious tells. Like these guys you see will really obviously raise their hands up and start rushing towards you, which is a sign that when they get close to you, you should dodge. Or, you know, do something. But this is part of the problem I was talking about earlier. Sometimes you have to wait for enemies to come to you, and it's just kind of awkward. Oh, also there's counters. This is sort of a hard tutorial, so the game is trying to really get you to use counters right now. This guy will dodge pretty much every punch you throw his way, unless you stun him by countering. You can only counter when you have some of the red bar filled up. If the red bar is empty, you won't be able to counter, you'll only be able to dodge or block. The other thing the red bar does is when it's full up, you can unleash adrenaline attacks, which are longer combos that have slightly different timing, but they do a lot more damage as well.
我想試下老長隻馬係唔係咁好打啊？同我問候你老細啦。大佬啊，老張條靚有分兩度嘅。
你同我夾實佢，
冇問題嘅。
唔好睇小呢條友，佢唔係咁簡單嘅。
你咁搞唔得㗎！話唔撈就唔撈，你叫啲兄弟點啊？唔使講江湖規矩啦，你點做大佬㗎？
唔使多講，我決定咗啦。
喂，走啊！生咗夢啦！
冇睇，由後門走，去隻船度啊！
查係邊個主事嘅？耶！起身，捉住佢！
I wouldn't say the training wheels are fully off just yet, but this is the point at which the game expects you to be able to handle yourself in a melee. I did mention the game is kind of, it's not very mobile as far as your attacking. If you happen to be running and you try to attack somebody, you usually unleash a double roundhouse kick, which it does decent damage and it uses up some of your adrenaline meter, but it's not very good. I'd rather run up to somebody and then start punching them instead of have to deal with, you know, an awkward roundhouse kick. So what you usually wind up doing, especially because enemies will normally do a pretty good job of fanning out to surround you, you wind up waiting for them to come to you, which does not make for a very, what's the word I'm looking for? Proactive protagonist. Also, sometimes enemies just deck you in the face from off camera, but you know, that's just the way life is.
喂，一個二角碌角咁啊，同我上。
你試下擋啊！等我嚟，仲唔輪到我？等我嚟，等我嚟，到我，喐佢，仲唔輪到我？到我啦！擋住，嚟啦！嚟啦！接招！等我嚟！擋住！接住！到我！
打得兩嘢啊！
Oftentimes you'll run into big guys, and, well, the main difference big guys have is that they have more health, I guess. That's about it. I mean, sometimes they can be more irritating than the small guys because they do have more health, and enemy types aren't really well... They're not really well displayed in this game. You might think, oh, this guy always counters, you should give him some sort of unique sprite, or make him look a certain way. But they don't really do that, so good luck trying to find out the best way to approach an enemy sometimes.
"齋打有乜意思啊？不如跑下咧！"
Well, these guns are stale now. Better get some new ones. And walk away slowly.
搞掂呢條友先，上啦，仲唔上？佢成個木拱企喺度啦。好啊，唔好俾佢走甩。
See, sometimes there's the problem you run into, and there's that awkward little roundhouse kick. Sometimes, you know, for a game that seems to usually encourage you to stand still and wait for enemies to come to you, sometimes they just don't come to you. I think this is one of 2 times we see a female enemy in the entire game. I don't know why they have one here and that's... I don't know. Oh yeah, sometimes there are environmental kills. They're not very well... Yeah. Yeah, also the chef should be fighting these guys, but I guess they decided to have a Hong Kong stare-off first. I don't know.
大柱，救我啊！好血腥啊！
Oh yeah, there's gunfights too. Hold the right analog stick in the direction of enemy and hold down the R2 button. That's it. It does have a little more nuance, but not much. Sometimes if you see explosive barrels, you can use those. Well, these guns are stale. Time to get new ones. Time to use the laughter passed down our family line. Fei and Hung here are kinda jerks. They can do, partner moves like this. They can also just do flying jump kicks, because, you know, as you do. Also, sometimes they can jump kick each other. Prepare to not see Fei and Hung again until the climax of the game.
下次你冇咁好彩㗎啦！
喂，
你點睇啊？我哋隻間海皮嗰度俾成班人圍住啊！
老闆冇嘢啊嘛？
而家仲 OK，遲啲就話唔埋啊！
我而家過嚟啊！